Some people are choosing to thrift their clothes rather than buy into fast fashion.
And a Stillwater food bank is using wasted produce to grow fresh food for the community.
Stick around to learn about all this and more on this week's episode of Pete's Corner. Welcome back to Pete's Corner, the news show where we keep you up to date on all things Stillwater. I'm Jovian Osterhout.
And I'm T. Johnson.
This week, we're exploring sustainable Stillwater and the steps our community has taken to a more eco-friendly future.
Fast fashion, one of the world's largest polluters, is a popular choice for most people in today's society. But there are alternatives to help save money and our environment. The fashion industry is the second largest polluter in the world, right behind the oil industry. With the fashion industry constantly growing at such a fast pace, its carbon footprint on our environment is growing with it. However, there is something that we can do right here in Stillwater as consumers to prevent these issues from getting worse, and save a little money too. By shifting to thrifting, we can help reduce the number of clothes that end up in landfills and reduce the amount of pollution that is created when these clothes are made.
You have to design it in a way that it doesn't have the toxicity element. So you might have a cotton t-shirt that might break down, but you have dyes and finishes that are sitting on that fiber that become residue in the environment. And that might exist a lot longer than the fiber does. But it's very complicated with clothing because we like to mix rayon and polyester and cotton, and then you have this thing that really we can't do anything with. And so there's a huge environmental footprint to that kind of thing.
Another benefit of thrift store shopping is it's cheaper for your bank account. Sometimes you are able to find name brand clothing items for cheaper than the original price. Also, most thrift stores are known for supporting a charity, so you can shop in confidence knowing that your money is going towards a charity or nonprofit instead of supporting a big chain corporation.
So I think it's one of the most accessible and easy solutions that we as regular people can do. It's not only environmentally sustainable, preventing clothing from going to the landfill, but it's also socially and economically sustainable as well. You're spending less money on clothing, and often thrift stores have a philanthropic purpose behind them. So that ties into social sustainability, helping people in the community at the same time.
Not only are you able to support a great cause, but you can find items from thrift stores that are one of a kind.
Shopping at thrift stores allows us to be unique and creative in the ways that we dress. Because these clothes have been donated, that means there's only one of its kind. You can find unique clothes like these to express yourself.
With climate change becoming an increased global concern, we should all be striving to eliminate the impact we have on our environment. Strut your stuff in a trendy and refurbished item while also practicing sustainability and lowering your carbon footprint. For Pete's Corner, I'm Tori Wallach. Thanks, Tori. Jovian, you ever go thrift shopping?
Actually, I got this shirt for like $3 at Super Thrift.
You're kidding.
Next up, Our Daily Bread is a resource for disadvantaged families to access healthy food. Rebecca Griggs has the story.
Food waste and food insecurity affects almost 250,000 people in Oklahoma, according to the Regional Food Bank. Kristen Ball, OSU's student body vice president and senior intern for sustainability, said food waste affects every aspect of sustainability.
Sustainability is often thought of as environmental activism and development, but also incorporates economic and social aspects as well. And food falls underneath that, under all three of them.
Our Daily Bread is Stillwater's food pantry and resource center. They fight food waste in their retail recovery program by going to local grocery stores to pick up the food that stores deem unsellable. Becky Taylor, the executive director for Our Daily Bread, said that they have different rules set aside that allows them to have food on their shelves that stores are not able to sell.
We get about 30,000 pounds of food through the retail recovery program each month. So that's 30,000 pounds of food that would have gone into the dumpster prior to us opening our doors.
Even with food pantries, people are still going hungry on a daily basis. And food waste contributes largely to food insecurity. And here at Oklahoma State University, there are no exceptions.
So a graduate study last year found that 43% of students on OSU's campus are food insecure. That's to some level, whether it's they're regularly going without food or they're just having to skip meals every once in a while to pay rent or tuition.
Currently, there is no food pantry at OSU, but after realizing the need on campus, Kristen has opened her own small food pantry in her office for students who might need it.
And we decided to make it no questions asked. We don't want anyone to prove income or residency. If you're hungry, you can get some food.
With 43% of students experiencing food insecurity, relieving food waste could drastically help those students. For those who wish to help, donate food you know won't be eaten, and get involved at a local food pantry or organization. For Pete's Corner, this is Rebecca Griggs.
Thanks, Rebecca. Our Daily Bread does a lot of important stuff for our community.
So we don't want to move on just yet. Our Daily Bread has come up with creative solutions to reduce their food waste. Leah Morum has more.
Every community needs nonprofits to make sure that they are able to be a healthy and sustainable community. Stillwater is no different, as it has the help of Our Daily Bread.
Our Daily Bread is a food and resource center for Payne County. We're different than other food banks in Stillwater because we're client choice, which means that people get to come in once every 30 days and get groceries, but they get to choose what they're taking home rather than us just giving them a box of groceries that may not be sufficient for their family, and it decreases food waste and increases dignity in the process of getting help.
With the pallets of food that Our Daily Bread brings in, they tend to have a high amount of fresh produce waste. Instead of letting this produce go to waste, they came up with a handy solution, a compost garden.
Any fresh produce waste that we do have here, we compost into the garden, and it goes to soil or something that will enrich our garden that lets us have a bigger yield from it, basically, or a better yield. So there's a whole full circle thing of what comes here, stays here or serves here, more than just being wasted or thrown away.
Any produce that is grown in the garden is then sold on the shopping floor to the customers who shop there, allowing none of the excess food to ever truly go to waste. The garden can produce all kinds of produce, from cabbage to carrots. And through the compost practices that Our Daily Bread uses, it is able to teach its shoppers not only healthy eating habits, but also seed planting skills.
I think it's important just to get the healthy food into people's bodies for nourishment. Watching something go from a seed to a plant is an amazing thing, and just to get them involved. And we've even given out seeds in the past so they could go home and plant their own, items as well.
Through this incredible compost garden, Our Daily Bread is providing a healthy and sustainable Stillwater for years to come. For Pete's Corner, I'm Liam Morum.
Thanks, Liam.
Our Daily Bread is making great strides to make Stillwater more sustainable.
But it isn't Stillwater's only source for local produce. Allie Bond has more on the farmers market for us now.
The Stillwater Farmers Market turns 33 this year, and for 3+ centuries, it provides local fruits, vegetables, beef, pork, chicken, flowers, herbs, honey, a variety of seasonal plants, and homemade breads and jellies. Not only does the farmers market provide fresh produce and other goods, but it also helps sustain the Stillwater community.
Well, it does stay here in Payne County. What they buy here, goes to us. We in turn buy from the businesses here. So yeah, it just stays here instead of going out of state.
Whitmore Farm is one of the largest contributors to the Stillwater Farmers Market. It also is one of the original charters of the market, which began in 1986. Jim Moats also sells at the farmers market. Moats Farm is another major contributor and began with the Whitmore Farm. He explains why people should buy from the farmers market rather than a chain store.
You can get fresh produce at a farmers market that might not be available other places. And the other thing is you can talk to the person that grew the food that you're eating.
Whitmore agrees and said the food is fresh and also tastes better, in turn creating a healthier community.
Children should be able to experience good tasting food, and then in turn that makes them healthy because they're going to carry that throughout their life.
Not only is eating local healthier for you, but it can produce a better economy. Other farms have reasons why you should shop local. Let's go see what they have to say. David Manis of Manis Farm explains how it also benefits the environment.
A lot of us don't have cows and we don't use as big of tractors and things like that, so a lot of our work is done by hand, so you can expect less of a carbon footprint.
Manis sums up how their farmers market helps sustain our local community.
Other than the community aspect, one thing is that, you're getting better food and superior quality, but you're also supporting local businesses.
For Pete's Corner, I'm Allie Bond.
Thanks, Allie. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and whenever we come back, I'm going to hit campus to ask students what they're doing to be more sustainable.
What is it about Oklahoma State?
This place is special.
Believe me, I know.
It's my home.
I've spent more of my life at OSU than away from it.
So here's what I can tell you.
There's just something about Oklahoma State.
We've had some pretty remarkable people pass through these walls.
People like Henry Iben, Ed Gallagher,
Robin Ventura and Barry Sanders.
I could go on and on about our All-Americans,
our national champions,
and our Hall of Famers.
You could say the people are what make this place special, and you'd be correct.
But it goes beyond the people.
There's something else about Stillwater that attracts greatness.
Maybe it's the hard work that all of us have put in during our time here to make something of ourselves.
Maybe it's the trials we've endured as a family.
We've been tested in ways that most people cannot understand.
Yet we never waver
in who we are
and what we believe in.
We've proven we can win at the highest level.
But winning isn't the only reason why people choose Oklahoma State.
It's more than that.
Our fans don't just cheer for the Cowboys.
They are the Cowboys.
The culture here is bigger than all of us.
It means something to be a Cowboy.
It's the values OSU stands for.
The values of being loyal and true.
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 Welcome back to Pete's Corner. We've been exploring a more sustainable Stillwater. So far, we've heard about thrifting over fast fashion, some of the local produce that Stillwater has to offer, but what are students doing to be more sustainable? T is on campus to find out more.
Thanks, Jovian. I'm here at the Student Union, and we're going to go in a quick sec and ask students what they're doing to be more sustainable. Okay, everyone, so we're here with Maiwa. Maiwa, how do you practice sustainability?
Try to use less plastic and turn off the lights, use less energy, that kind of stuff.
I recycle a lot of the plastic things I eat out of after I clean them out, of course. And yeah, I pick up plastic around the community. If I see it sometimes, I might recycle it. And just like the little things.
Well, honestly, in Stillwater, I probably do not do as much as I should. I would like to recycle, but I don't think I'm at Prime Place on Elm. I don't know if they provide that as an option. Only a trash chute, so it's not as easy as it could be, which kind of makes it more challenging for me to do so.
Yeah, but what you're saying is in the future, though, you will try to recycle more.
Yes, for sure.
So what I do is of course we have all of these trash cans that tell you where to go, put what in what, and so that's what I try to do. And then whenever I see plastic on the ground, I pick it up and I put it in the recycle bin. And that's pretty much it.
We also keep our detergent bottles and we fill them with water and use them to weigh things down. So we do a lot of recycling and reusing.
That's perfect. All right, back to you, Jovian.
Thanks, T. It's always nice to hear what the students have to say.
Definitely. I learned a lot. Single-use plastic is a major setback for a more sustainable future. Noah Southard is going to tell us more about recycling and alternatives to plastic.
Keeping our campus looking the best we can should be a priority to us as students, but a problem caused by everyday items is polluting our environment.
Plastic waste, it will break down into smaller pieces, but it never truly decomposes into earth again because it's not an organic material anymore after it's been made into plastic products. So when it's loose in the environment, it really wreaks havoc on the environment, wildlife, not only because it's unsightly, but because it harms wildlife.
Plastics are a great product, They are used everywhere, but the main focus for OSU is reduction and reuse of the plastics.
Because recycling does require energy to collect the material and resources and fuel to transport the material, to be processed, to be separated, sorted, processed, made into new products. And so recycling is always better than mining those new materials.
Most plastics are only a one-time usage, and usually these aren't disposed of correctly. You need to know what you're disposing and how you're disposing of them.
Then the problem becomes educating the students on what is recyclable, and we have so many green student organizations on campus that are doing their best to promote that habit of sustainable practices like recycling. You do have to know what is recyclable, because if you just recycle anything you think, like any number of plastics, then you could be recycling something that ends up in the trash, and then that contaminates the recycling and it can't be sent to the facility. It has to be sent to the landfill.
There are alternative ways to producing less waste. We can start with products that are reusable.
There are definitely some ways that us as individuals can cut down on our use of plastic, such as reusable water bottles and cups, of course, reusable bags, not using straws, which is a common one. Really just being conscious of what you're using on a day-to-day basis and how to reduce your own environmental footprint.
Here at OSU, you can recycle any number 1 or number 2 plastic, which usually classifies as a water bottle or a soda bottle. For Pete's Corner, I'm Noah Southard.
Thanks, Noah. Jovian, do you use plastic straws?
You know I only use metal straws, T.
I always knew you were a sustainable king.
OSU is trying to reduce its carbon footprint by using a more biodegradable styrofoam and corn-infused plastics. Sam Page has more.
With utensils such as plastic forks, spoons, and styrofoam cups destroying the planet and piling up in our landfills, Oklahoma State University Dining Services is thinking outside the box to help contain this ever-growing man-made crisis. University Dining Services Assistant Director Stephen West explains the challenges of deciding how to be sustainable on an ever-growing campus.
Well, we're always trying to keep up with the latest trends, which sometimes change faster than we know about, and other times they kind of stay stagnant. But we're talking to other universities, seeing what they're doing. We entertain almost any student group that wants to come in and talk to us and give us their opinion on what's going on. And then naturally we deal a lot with the sustainability folks here on campus to make sure that our goal and their goal are always matched up.
With the campus beginning to switch to more sustainable products, University Dining Services is facing some conflicts between students and the Office of Sustainability.
Well, you'll get some people that are very, very vehemently against anything that will go into a landfill. And then you get a different crowd that says, well, we're a little bit okay with things in the landfill. We don't really want the biodegradable stuff in the landfill. We want stuff that is landfill stable, things that won't leach into the water. So we're not so upset about the plastic, but we don't want things that biodegrade and create greenhouse gases. So the two are a little bit at odds with each other, but it isn't a major war by any sorts, but trying to keep both sides happy is a little bit difficult sometimes.
University Dining Services allows students to come down and voice their opinions while also trying to make a difference in the environment.
The thing that I think is really great is that I love the fact that they have new sustainable cups for the new dining. They have the styrofoam cups and they have plastic, and I love that they're incorporating these new corn products into the plastic, so they're not 100% plastic, and the fact that they can biodegrade.
While Oklahoma State University isn't fully sustainable yet, there are students at OSU who are willing to work with University Dining Services and the Office of Sustainability to create a brighter future for America's brightest orange. From Pete's Corner, I'm Sam Page.
Thanks, Sam. It's good to see that the university actually cares about its carbon footprint.
Game days are one of the most chaotic times on campus, and with the amount of traffic that Boone's Pickens Stadium sees comes a lot of waste.
Isaac Dennis is going to share how the university practices sustainability, especially on game days.
As OSU pushes for sustainable practices across campus, there are a few places where sustainability seems like a nearly impossible task. The mountain of trash produced during game days is surely the first thing that comes to mind.
So each roll off, as I mentioned, is 30 feet, or 30 yards, I'm sorry. And we'll fill up every single one in the west end zone. We'll fill up our compactor. And then we've also got our dump truck at the Gallagher loading dock. We'll fill that up during and after the game. And then our 2 roll-offs there, those get filled after the game.
With OSU's growing dedication to sustainability and the mountain of trash generated, sustainable practices on game days are something everyone can get behind.
So the push this year has been a lot towards more towards recycling, and we've always done recycling, but now it's more of a push, and it's a little bit more accessible with our new soft drink company. Pepsi has the little recycled things that we have around the stadium. Containers, that helps as well to keep things separated.
Sustainability isn't just important inside the stadium, but around the stadium too. That leads to the formation of new programs headed by the executive branch of SGA.
Our program is called Real Cowboys Recycle, and it's basically a tailgate recycling initiative on our football game days. And what we do in the morning is we go around and we pass out recycling bags to all the tailgaters. And after the game, approximately 20 minutes after, we meet up and we start taking those down under the stadium, and then we start the sorting process.
These practices are something the whole community can participate in.
Most of the time, actually, we'll come up to the tailgaters and they've been expecting us. They're like, oh, where have you been? We've been waiting for you. Where are our recycling bags? So they get pretty hyped about it.
The goal is to create as many opportunities for people to engage in sustainable practices during game days.
So, I mean, for us, we try to make it as many options out there for fans to put the recyclables in proper disposal, whether it be right as you walk out of the seats, kind of towards the gates, just trying to create as much visibility as we can to give them that option.
All of these opportunities don't amount to much, though, if people don't take advantage of them.
I know school spirit is a big thing at OSU. If you're here, you likely celebrate on game days. And it's important to keep sustainability in mind in all aspects of life, especially in OSU, because we want our campus to be as sustainable as possible. We want our celebrations to be sustainable. So really just making that extra effort on game days is just, it makes a huge difference.
Through collaboration, OSU has found ways to make game days significantly more sustainable. Now all that's left is the general public's participation in making sure every game day isn't just fun for us, but sustainable for years to come. With Pete's Corner, I'm Isaac Dennis.
Thanks, Isaac. I have noticed a lot of trash after game days, and I'm glad the university is doing something to address it.
I agree. The university is doing so many more things to contribute to being sustainable in Stillwater. Things like energy-efficient lighting, recycling bins around every corner, and more.
One of the easiest and most cost-efficient ways to go green is by taking public transportation. Luckily, Stillwater has lots of options, electronic scooters, and even a free bus system. Evelyn Gatau has the story for us now.
Public transportation systems bring many benefits to individuals, communities, and the local economy, but they often get overlooked. OSU provides a variety of transportation services such as bikes, scooters, and buses as a more efficient and beneficial system of getting people from one place to another.
The transportation they provide is just very great. I'm very thankful for it, especially for students like me who don't have any type of transportation except for those, so I really appreciate it.
Whether you need to get across campus or all the way to Tulsa, OSU runs several fixed routes on their buses to help you get where you need to go.
I mostly just take the bus from Stillwater to Tulsa. I used to ride the bus around Stillwater too when I lived in a different part of Stillwater.
Along with this, OSU even offers a bus tracker app that helps you navigate all the routes and times.
Buses, I use them pretty frequently because I have to get, like, say to Walmart, or like when I had to get my phone done. So yeah, I use them a lot.
Bike riding is a great way to avoid time-consuming traffic. Orange Ride is a unique bicycle rental program provided by OSU to promote affordable and convenient transportation to campus and around the Stillwater community. If biking isn't your thing, electric scooters may be the way to go. They provide the same benefits as biking, and luckily they're all over campus.
I use the scooters a lot of time because I live all the way in the Commons, so it's very far from most of my classes. So it's very convenient on days when I'm running late. I can just hop on the scooter and just go to class. So.
Public transportation systems like OSU's play an important role in confronting environmental challenges.
I don't have a car, so those are like my only sources of transportation that I have.
Not only do they reduce road congestion and air pollution, they also provide personal mobility and freedom while connecting communities with every ride. For Pete's Corner, I'm Evelyn Gatau.
Thanks, Evelyn.
Public transportation was extremely helpful for me my freshman year.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, I'm going to share some information that I've collected about the importance of pollinators and sustainability.
Because of Cass, I'm more confident behind the camera.
Because of Cass, I have found lifelong friends and amazing mentors.
Because of Cass, I will be able to teach English in Cambodia with the Peace Corps.
Because of Cass, I had the opportunity to intern on Capitol Hill.
Because of Cass, I got to sing at the Vatican.
Because of Cass, I was able to present my research and I won a scholarship for it.
Because of Cass, I miss Black OSU.
Because of Cass, I can help someone else find their voice.
Because of Cass, I'm able to not only have 1, but 2 internships for the summer lined up already.
Because of Cass, I am confident in leadership positions.
Because of Cass, I'm excited for my future and the opportunities I have within my major.
Because of Cass, I can do it, and so can you.
When everything is on the line, one person can change the game. One swing of the bat, one perfect pass, one leaping catch. In the most important moments, one play, one person can make the difference. This is your moment. Your opportunity to change the game for our student athletes. Will you sit on the sidelines? Or will you be a game changer? Join the posse today. Call 405-744-7301 or log on to okstateposse.com. Be a game changer.
I've had a lifetime of little sweet pieces of special. And I just want them to know I love them.
The Cancer Center at Stillwater Medical, the heart of cancer care.
Welcome back to Pete's Corner, your #1 resource for what's going on in Stillwater. We've been exploring sustainability and eco-friendly practices. Jovian Osterhout has more information for us on one of our most impactful pollinators. Jovian?
Hey T, I'm here on Library Lawn, one of the most beautiful places on campus. Right now it's starting to rain though, but I still want to share some facts with you. Let's head inside. Now you may have noticed that flowers are far and few between on Library Lawn, and to a honeybee, this is nothing more than a barren desert. Colony collapse disorder is a major threat to honeybees, and without this pollinator, our entire food system as we know it is at risk. Not to worry though, there is something you can do. Honeybees often rely upon garden flowers to ensure they have a diverse diet and to provide nectar and pollen. Encourage honeybees to visit your garden by planting single flowering plants and vegetables. Bees adore plants like lilacs, lavender, mint, and sunflower. You can also support your local hives by purchasing honey, and if you're up for the commitment, start your own beehive. These bees are crucial to our environment. Let's keep them around. Thanks, T.
Thanks, Jovian. I guess I never really knew just how much bees contribute to our environment.
Well, it might be good to know that they're also protein-packed and have lots of nutrients.
Ew.
Well, believe it or not, it might be weird, but some people eat bugs, and Jessie Treese is going to tell us why.
There's a new buzz growing within the Western food industry. Bugs are becoming more popular substitutes when it comes to food security due to the high nutrients and protein they provide. There are millions of known bug species to date, meaning that unlike your typical dairy cows, bugs are one of the most abundant resources in the world.
There are 7 billion people. There are about 2 billion more bugs for each individual. So there are a lot of bugs out there compared to people, compared to cattle.
Not only are bugs an abundant resource, but they're also a lot more eco-friendly than your typical farm.
Cows use around 1,700 gallons of water. Chicken will use around 700 gallons of water. And then for that same amount of protein, you could eat crickets and only use 1 gallon of water.
Despite how disgusting the idea may sound, eating bugs is not as uncommon as people would believe.
They're already being eaten, just a lot of different countries and continents. And America is one of the last people to actually integrate into bug eating just because people are scared of the thought of eating insects.
When it comes to bugs being on the menu, there are hundreds and thousands and even millions of items to choose from. Now, kissing bugs like this one won't be on the menu, but crickets? Yeah, it's a very likely option. And odds are, even though you say you would never eat a bug, you already have.
You're allowed to have, for chocolate, say 80 insect parts,
And then for peanut butter, up to 60 insect parts. Tomato sauce can have 30 insect eggs. And then in other wheat products, you can have over 150 different types of insect parts.
Some resources may not always be available for farming, so it's highly likely that in the next 50 years, bugs are going to start appearing in Stillwater stores near you. For Pete's Corner, I'm Jessie Treese.
This week, we took a look at a more sustainable Stillwater and some eco-friendly practices.
Don't forget to tune in next week for a salute to the military. For Pete's Corner, I'm Jovian Osterhout.
And I'm T. Johnson.